it going to be? As the first ban is actually Fanny, immediate ban. It seems like Vamos is scared of Fanny, and they know that someone from DFYG is actually a Fanny pro, so that no kidding, first ban immediately. And of course, the second ban from Team DFYG is Basha. So Basha is such an
Fanny
annoying.
and Pasha.
Yeah,
And
Fanny and Basha.
VMS now they have the blue side and they have the priority picks like first pick and first ban.
Yes.
So we will see a little bit priorities for them because little bit advantage for them as a blue side. But DFYG they have red side and they have like one game they win, but still we will see in the papers what will have in the ban and picks during the game. The first two bans it little bit appears, but now wow, for the VMS they
You think these bans reacting to game one or just the overall meta?
It actually looks like the overall meta because it seems like the bans are actually the same. Until now, they're the same as game number one. No difference at all, Fanny, Hilda, Kalea, and Basha. So, yeah, we're actually seeing the same bans. They're not taking any risks until now. There might actually think of something else in their bans. We're going to see from Team VMS right now. Who are they going to ban? Is it going to be one of the meta heroes, or is it going to be someone else who was actually an annoying factor in the first game?
Do you expect these bans to stay consistent across the series?
because now the meta it's all the teams is playing around the meta for the ban and picks, and also during the game the strategies they're focusing in mid lane and roamers, and also for the teams in the group stage or also in the now in the playoffs they're also focusing on the meta side, because now the patch is happening, also the buffs and nerfs happens, and it affecting also the tournament, and we will see also like ban and picks for them, and there is a target ban as we see in the first pick, as we see in the first match.
Yes, and as we saw right now, actually the third ban from Team Vamos is actually Eve as well, which confirms our theory that actually, yeah, they're just going for the bans, they're just going for the meta bans, they're not taking any risks whatsoever. Although we as audience would love to see risks, we would love to see all the meta heroes, clashing, but that's not going to happen since Grok also got banned. First pick. Lancelot, that's what that's what actually Team DIANFENG did in the first game. So VMS was like, okay, this time we're taking Lancelot. And
they changed.
Yeah, they changed.
Labu Labu.
Yeah, Labu Labu. They're changing roles right now, as I can see.
We see who is playing Labu Labu better.
Yeah, actually, they're actually challenging each other right now. They're saying, okay, you played Labu Labu the first game, you didn't win. We will show you how to play with Labu Labu this game.
And I will take your Lancelot.
Yeah. So yeah, let's see. And of course, the second pick for Team DFYG is Harith, which is he's actually going to be taking care of the gold lane. All right, Team Vamos is actually taking Esmeralda this time. All right, since he was banned the last game, so they were like, no, we're gonna take her immediately. We're not gonna wait for the second ban phase to start. We don't want to take the risk. And let's see, Esmeralda on the ground, what is she going to do this game? And of course, Farsa is also going to be one of the picks for Team Vamos.
For the first phase of the ban and picks, it shows like there is a lot of picks for them, and they took Harith, Labu Labu for VMS, also for VMS, they are taking Farsa, Esmeralda, and Lancelot. It's totally interesting picks. Crook, and they're banning Ruby as in the first game.
Yes, they just banned Ruby just like the first game, but there is a new pick that we are seeing right now from Team DFYG, which is Hayabusa. Hayabusa is such a great hero, such a such a hero with a extremely high mobility, and can actually join the fight and leave the fight in a glimpse. So we're excited to see Hayabusa this game.
And who's playing with Hayabusa? It's like the playstyle of Hayabusa. It's totally hard. You need to play.
Yeah.
You need to have a faster movement.
Yes, exactly. You need to have super fast fingers in order to play with Hayabusa, because one small delay, it's over for you. So that's why Hayabusa is for actually pro players, and such a great hero to play with. Now the fourth ban for Team Vamos is actually Gatotkacha, who is such a great roamer. He has very high crowd control, very high taunting as well when it comes to fights. So and can dish out actually very high damage in some cases. So yeah, Gatotkacha is actually an expected ban as well. We are waiting for the last ban from Team DFYG. And who do you expect the ban is going to be?
Maybe Tigreal?
I don't think so. I don't think so. It's going to be Tigreal. Might be, but
Maybe.
from the picks, Yuzong. All right.
Oh, makes sense.
All right. So Yuzong is a ban. Yuzong was very annoying the previous game. They don't want Team Vamos to actually take the advantage of playing with Yuzong this game. As we can see from Team Vamos, they already settled the jungler, the mid laner, and the XP laner. Although Esmeralda can be played as a roamer as well in some cases. So we are still trying to figure out if Esmeralda is going to be an XP laner or a roamer. As for Team DFYG, the fourth pick is Chu. So Chu is most probably going to be a roamer in that case, since Lapu Lapu is there in Team DFYG, and he's most probably going to be an XP laner. All right. Oh, wow. We are
VMS, they're
okay.
taking some new cards.
Yes, yes. Novaria is such a great marksman actually in this meta, and Guinevere, who is a great crowd controller. So as we can see right now, Guinevere is going to be an XP laner, and Esmeralda is going to be a roamer. And
To be honest, on the paper, Adham, it's totally like for the VMS because I like their picks, I like their bans. But DFYG, maybe they will surprise us in the game. Until now, we didn't see the Yusen Shin because we saw it in the first game and we saw it in the like maybe totally in the all the games in the group stages.
yes.
But until now, like for the picks for the DFYG, Harith, Labo Labo, Hayabusa, and Go
Chu.
Chu.
Yeah.
And for the last one, it's
Valentina.
now Valentina.
Yeah.
DFYG. They're trying to counter the counter picks and they're trying to take the priorities of the first game.
This is going to be a very hard game for both, mostly for VMS, since they have an actual marksman right now, and you have lots of counters for the marksman. We have Chu, we have Harith, and we have Hayabusa. So Novaria needs to be very, very, very well protected in order to be able to assist Team Vamos in the late game if they actually reach the late game. So yeah.
So drafts like this usually tell us how the games will be played. Are you still on your team?
Yeah.
We're still in the same line.
Okay.
Because this, we are predicting scenarios the same.
So, okay, everything's locked and loaded. Let's throw it to the casters and get into the game.
Here we are, game number 2. Super Ken on this Hayabusa. Air 404 on the Lancelot. We know that these two junglers from both teams are really good at assassin, and we're going to see another showdown. Wolf and Naisu, your casters for game number 2. I have a great feeling about this. It's Hayabusa versus the Lancelot, and Obsidia is in, man.
I was just gonna ask you, man. The Obsidia coming through, I think I was kind of surprised by that in the draft here. It's like, I remember when Obsidia came out, everyone was like, you know, is she gonna be OP? Is she gonna do all this that we usually see? And hold on, Zed, whoa, getting a little overzealous. Aaron 404 will clean up a kill. Both junglers picking up their own, trading the roamers on both sides. So that's about as even as it gets, man. Both kills going to junglers, both roamers going down, right? But yeah, going back to my point, I feel like when Obsidia came out, a lot of people were wondering just how she would be utilized in that current meta. And I feel like teams, it took them a while to figure it out. Not that many teams, though, even globally, use the Obsidia too much. Like, it was very specific teams or players that like to go ahead and play that. And I know she didn't get any changes, right? In the patch, like, she was untouched. So
Yes.
I just feel like Obsidia as a whole is kind of like in this neutral ground. Like, she can be good if she's able to scale up and get to the point where she needs to, or she does abysmal, you know? And that's not just
Yeah.
because she's from the Void. Like, she can do really, really poorly. So
Yeah.
that's something definitely you want to watch out for, how Nako plays this game here.
What I noticed is that in the past months, like the better half of the season, especially when Obsidian was introduced, it was the Granger Harith show, basically.
I think it still is a bit.
It is. And the reason why that's the case is because you want to be strong in the early stages.
Strong in the early stages here. Arrow 404 will be able to claim that first turtle. Is Vel going to push this for Zorn? Okay, he does it, but now Vel might actually get punished himself as he does. A little overextension there. DFYG, but they trade it. Trading that turtle, going in the hands of Team Vamos. So a kill plus an objective. And yes, as you were saying, Wolf.
Yeah, I think the reason why people are not, I mean, at least from our region in Southeast Asia, and particularly in the Philippines, why there hasn't been much Obsidia is because why would you go for an unsafe pick when you can just pick up Ranger and Harith, right?
Yeah.
And at the same time, because there are so many good assassins in the hero pool that we have, it's difficult to pull up a traditional marksman.
Is Zorn going to be able to get away from this? Oh, no.
Oh, my
Super Ken
goodness.
goes back with a
Super
shadow,
Ken.
but he does get punished himself. And now Zed might be next. Uses the kick, though, just barely surviving. Good play there by Zed to stay alive. And this is Vel claiming a lot of extra gold up here on that gold turret. Gold plating up here up top.
Oh. I wonder, like, for Team Vamos, what we do know is they have this Lancelot, I mean, the Guinevere with the Farsa, which is such a great combo. If they continue on pressuring DFY3 and just punishing Vel, for example, the Lapu-Lapu, this will be a really good game for them because right now they're even oppressing this gold lane. If they still get this other turn, the shields, it will be massive, and I thought the Harith will be enough to defend. Okay, they will not push through that, but that would have been a great way for them to kind of increase their gap, gold gap.
If they're able to increase a little bit further. Nice initiation, a forward play, and a recall from Zorn too. After that, again, this Guinevere we have seen so much lately in the past couple days here, Wolf. Well, now it's in the hands of Zorn as a roam instead of in the jungle. So,
Yeah.
great initiation. They're able to get this turtle as well. Clockhoon actually survives the shadow kill, so he's going to be fine. And now this is an aggression play from Arrow 404. Going to be going for Super Ken. Super Ken, will he be able to get away? That he does. A feathered airstrike drop down too. A little bit charge here with Falling Star Moon. They're going to go for Zed. Siska jumps in on the turret, but doesn't want to overcommit to this unless they juggle it around. A jump in from Zorn, and now Vel joining the fight a little bit late. Comes down with a land shaker. Popping off here, but not enough damage on this Lapu-Lapu just yet. But look at this. Siska comes in, staying around in the mid lane. Will finally have to flicker out. There's the shadow kill. Clockhoon takes a couple of the hits himself to keep Siska alive. And now Super Ken could be in a bad position.
man.
Team Vamos absolutely punishing DFYG.
Great synergy coming out from Team Vamos. You see how they get in and out of the fight there. It seems like it looks like a rally, actually, like a badminton or a ping pong rally or a tennis rally. We've seen from Team Vamos, they're just passing the ball around, and it looks very, very good. For example, when Clockhoon tried to evade the jump coming out from Vel, Kiska did not overly commit onto the Lapu-Lapu and went for the Valentina instead, which kept him a kill, and they will get more even as Zed is getting outplayed across the map. Clockhoon and Zorn are just so good at making the plays happen for Team Vamos.
Good plays there. Again, very aggressive and decisive. And you know what this allows Notco to do on the Subsidia that needs that time to go ahead and scale up? Well, just, you know, have the time of your life. Notco, go ahead and farm up, get that scaling that you need, get the stacks that you need here on the Subsidia, and you're going to be all good. So DFYG really down behind now up to this point, you know, 6.5 minutes in almost. I don't think they're in a position to actually contest the turtle, so they kind of have to just kind of give that up here. Look at this positioning too from Team Vamos. They want to go ahead and challenge DFYG. There's the kick. Way the Dragon's going to be able to find Zorn out of the picture. So DFYG will take that challenge. Oh, the damage from Arrow 404, is he going to be able to get long? He does, using the puncture under the turret, but now Arrow 404 might get punished. He's got the moves, though. He's still alive, and Siska will take down Zed. It was so bad for DFYG to fight under that turret. Man, Super Ken style on the Hayabusa right now.
Yeah, gonna be a lot of recovery from the FYG, but it's not gonna be enough. It seems like Team Vamos are just well coordinated. The way that they are managing their abilities and their spells, you know. They didn't even have to use the flickers, but just the fact that Zorn's spacing was great, the way that he's finding the targets. Siska, not only is this Esmeralda a very good pick versus the Lapu-Lapu and the Harith, like it counters a lot from the FYG, but Siska's positioning and aggressiveness is just so much on point. He knows his limits and he knows the proper targets to go to. He doesn't need to be in front of the Lapu-Lapu all the time. He can even pressure the Valentina, as we've seen many times in this game. And now it has came to a point where Zorn is tanky enough to act like a pseudo Cho, or even a much tankier Cho in this game.
The tank Cho at this point, you know. And I feel like that one saving grace here for DFYG might be that late game if they can somehow get there. Whether that's going to be Super Ken scaling up, but I don't feel like Arrow 404 is given him much of a chance, you know. And Vel, I think he's going to do a better job at just choosing when to go in with the bravest fighter in a lot of these exchanges, and they need time for Long to build up. They're going to need actually quite a bit of time to catch up after this. You know, almost 6,000 gold behind. Here's a bit of the stacks too from Natko, and you know, we haven't even seen that full potential just yet from the Subsidia, because it's definitely, you can definitely feel it towards the late game, but I don't know if DFYG is going to get there, man.
It's going to be up to how they funnel some of the resources onto Long, because they really need to activate this Harith. Not only that, you have to give farm to Super Ken as well, because he is that hero that can output the damage enough to take out this Esmeralda. Oh no.
That's Natko's time to shine. He pops out a ton of damage, and again, you really can't get away once you're tethered to that Obsidia. She's going to be dragged with you, so Team Vamos just taking more up to this point. Lord's going to be coming up here in a couple seconds, so now with Team Vamos healthily ahead of DFYG. Some big items being picked up here. They got complete control of this side of the jungle. Super Ken might not see his buff at all up to this point, as Lord is quickly dealt with by Arrow 404, securing that. Let's see what happens. I don't know if DFYG even wants to get close to this. Yeah, they don't. It's taken, man. Everything right now is all Team Vamos. They're looking to end this game quickly if they can, potentially even on this first push with the Lord. We know it's still difficult to end a game with a first Lord push, but it's possible with this kind of lead. Almost 8,000 gold ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, Zed's going to try to make a play, I think. He's charging up.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, the jump in. Zorn actually goes in. He already has the immortality, so he's actually going to be fine. They get the flicker down from Zed, so that is out of the picture as they have to defend here. That Holy Shield's going to pop down a bot. Mid-waves are going to be pushing in to take down this tier 2 turret in a second. Clarkoon might drop this feathered airstrike once it's back online, just to go ahead and keep them in control. There's the punch in, a spatial migration, taking out Zed, knowing he doesn't have the flicker. Shadow kill going to be used as Vel's trying to get back to the base, trying to disengage from this as Siska cuts them off. A tier 2 turret finally falling. And that's going to be the last shield that pops as well. DFYG in a tough position now up to this point.
Not even a tickle of damage for Siska from that Ogi Shadow kill. And we talked about how this became that Zorn was able to reach a point where he acts like a pseudo tank with a Guinevere. That's exactly what happened. You saw that he jumped in front of 3 members of the FYG with the immortality untouched, like up to 60% HP, and the FYG felt like, okay, there's no point on trying to punch this Guinevere, let's just get out. That would have been a good play for DFYG, but Zorn had the luxury of checking the bushes, face-checking the bushes even, because of how strong he is. This is immortality and a couple of casual items for the Guinevere. Silence Rope for magic. You have the Dreadnought armor, and then straight into the Immortality. Belt of Ares obviously giving him HP, so this is an interesting...
It's an interesting, it's a Zorn build,
item.
man.
It's a Zorn build. And
You know-
also, he has more gold compared to the Farsa. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Zorn, part of his mission too is, just to jump in, get that focusing mark activated, and then, basically from there, he leaves the rest of the team's hands. And, that's how you want to play the Guinevere in the Roam. You're kind of just there to go set things up, spatial migration, and go for it. Zed's going to get seen out of that bush. Yone, I'm not sure if that's the ultimate he's going to want to hold on to. Yone taking a feathered airstrike to the face. He's going to fall, just gone in an instant. There's the Violent Requiem too. Vel's trying to get away, but under the base they go. A defensive kick from Zed to keep Arrow 404 from possibly cleaning up a kill. A shadow kill's not going to do anything. Not a tickle at all, as you mentioned, Wolf. Base turret falls in the mid lane. And there you go. I'm not sure if they want to press for more with the Lord being up. Take the discipline round, go start this Lord for Team Vamos, 11,000 gold ahead.
See, walk of shame coming out from Ewon. The Valentina popping the Purify, double dashing, but the Flicker and the feathered airstrike coming out from Clocken was just way too much on point, and Valentina could not survive that. Even the Shadow Kill tried to defend the mid lane with that. Super Ken just cannot output enough damage to even be a threat for Team Vamos. This is looking to be a one-sided affair. Esmeralda from Siska is a good pick that cannot escape the Obsidia now.
Yeah, solid choice here that they have right now. The Obsidia, this is definitely the time where she's online and ready to rock and roll. Nako having the stacks there as well. They're going to go for it. Yone in trouble, trying to get away and burst it down again. Vel trying to do his best with the Bravest Fighter, goes in with a Landshaker Flicker combination, but it's just way too much as Natko has all the space in the world. And now fighting around this Lord. 3 members of the FYG trying to disengage here. Zed trying to buy some time with the Jikando, but he's dealt with by Siska. He's going to have to heal back up. The Lord was cleared out, but the waves pushing in on every front as Team Vamos is looking to take it to Game 3 in this elimination match. A feathered airstrike dropped down again from Clarkoon. Zed will go down to the jump in forward, but the base is going to be worked on and locked on forward. They're looking to end it here, but clearing out the waves, and Team Vamos will take Game 2.
Sure, we'll be very happy about that because a one-sided game for Team Vamos. They started with the draft. This Esmeralda answered 3 of the heroes of the FYG, the Lapu-Lapu, Harith, as well as the Cho. Adding a little bit of flavor in there with the Guinevere pickup and then become very aggressive with it. Team Vamos have made a lot of work with this Guinevere in combination with the Lancelot. The first, of course, is very much on point. Wonderful game for Team Vamos, as this is an elimination match, and they will force a game number 3. Now, we're going to see them in a massive showdown. I would love to see another Assassin versus Assassin battle between Super Ken as well as Error 404. May become game number 3. But we will have to wait a little longer as we are allowing the teams to prepare. Let's get back to the panel.
And just like that, we are tied 1-1 here at Games of the Future Abu Dhabi 2025. 1 game each, momentum splits, and everything now comes down to a decisive Game 3. Let's look at the big picture here. How do you sum up this series so far with it sitting at 1-1?
To be honest, for VMS, it was maybe first game, it was testing limits, testing the waters. They will see, let's try this card, maybe it will work. And maybe it didn't work, but in the game 2, they surprised us.
Yeah, actually, Team Vamos, the second game, they were dominating from the first minute of the game. Although their picks were actually, kind of not so meta, I would say. But they played amazing with these heroes. And EFYG actually made a lot of mistakes, I would say, in the second game. They had a strategy, but it didn't work out. They didn't focus on specific heroes. For example, like Novaria, they didn't actually take Novaria into consideration a lot. They should have focused on Novaria because Novaria in the late game, from mid to late game, would be very annoying for them. But Team Vamos was actually trying to push the FYG to the mid lane to forget about Novaria a little bit, so they forced them to forget about Novaria. Guinevere, on the other hand, was top-notch. Guinevere was very annoying to Team DFYG. She did a great job. So Zorn, I salute you for what you've done. To me, he is actually the MVP of the game, you know, to myself, because he played the biggest part in actually making Team Vamos win this match.
Okay, looking at the statistics right now, did you expect the response we saw in game 2?
We expect for VMS to lose this game and like it's have the lower hand.
Yeah.
But in the paper it was like for DFYG, but in the game and the scenario it was totally different because Navaria it was a cherry on top of the cake, and she surprised us, and also the game of the style it was totally different because how they snowball in the first how many minutes in the game, and also they continue the snowballs. They didn't like little bit behind. No, they continue on the snowball and it becomes bigger.
Yeah.
And Team DFYG they didn't cannot resist this. How much strong it's the snowball.
Yeah, actually, Team VFYG did not expect this to happen.
Yeah.
We're talking about a huge difference in gold from the beginning of the game. No towers destroyed from VFYG, no Lord slain, no turtle slain. So it was complete dominance for Team Vamos in this game. You know, and Esmeralda also did a great job. So Error 404 is actually the MVP of this game, who played with Lancelot. He did a great job as well, but his team actually did a wonderful job. Farsa was doing great in this match. I think Bocon was playing with Farsa. The team surprised me, to be honest, and if they play with the style for the next match, I think Vamos is actually going to take it, unless Team DFYG have something else to say.
The damage dealt from PMS it was totally insane.
Yeah,
because the damage dealer it's from Falsa. We are seeing like the blinks she's having, the snipers she's doing for the team, like totally the controls for the Hamab during the fight. It was totally perfect for him.